to gain inspiration, to make a positive change in the nation. We're inviting you to partake in conversation, to raise your vibration. It's the day that we will all celebrate all of our peace that make this thing elevate. Watch the negative fade away, cause it's the day with Trae.
Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. I want to welcome you to a wonderful Wednesday. My guest here today is known by so many in this region. We got Chukundi Salisbury. Many of you know him as Kun Love. He is here. We're going to be talking about Black legacy homeowners and the effort that he has been continuing since he ran for office, y'all. So this is a long time effort that he's been pouring into it. And many of you have seen these signs throughout the Central District to make sure that folks know the message is clear. Black home ownership is still alive and thriving in the Central District despite what the numbers show. So I'm so glad that I get to dive into it with him. But of course, you know it is the top of the show, y'all. So it's a perfect time to tag and share this stream right here. Y'all are helping us grow by tagging and sharing the stream with folks who you feel could benefit from a daily dose of dopeness right here on the Day with Trae. If you can't watch our TV show, we still have you covered. You can listen to us anywhere you find your favorite podcast. Just search Converge Media Network and the Day with Trae. You'll find me on whichever platform is your favorite. Well, we have a lot to dive into today. So up next, joining me, we got Chukundi Salisbury in the building. Chukundi, what's up?
Well, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here officially on the Black Media Matters studio and the Day with Trae, and so I'm just living my best life right now.
Well, this is the first time that I think you've been on the Day with Trae. I mean, I've been able to interview you in other areas, but I'm really excited that you're giving us some time today. Right. And you've been, really leading this effort and growing it in the community, the understanding of Black legacy home ownership. And, we talk a lot about gentrification, but I think it's important that we talk about how folks are keeping their homes. Tell us more about this effort.
Well, it's the Black Legacy Homeowners Network, and it's at blacklegacyhomeowners.org. And, the foundation of the work is we really are here to help Black people specifically, right, keep their homes or be able to pass that home along in a generational wealth type of fashion, right? And so the work is really doing a lot of education and engagement in our community, right? And making sure that folks know that there's resources, that they're not alone, right? Because many of us make poor decisions oftentimes when we're at our lowest point, right? And so if you see in our community, you see there's always these signs that say, I buy homes, right? This and that. So we're the opposite of that, right? So when we have these people that come and door knock and and try to get your home from you, be clear, nobody's going to knock on your door and give you the best deal for your house, right? They are in there, in fact, to get a good deal for them, right? So who's looking out for us? Right, so we can keep our homes, and that's what the Black Legacy Homeowner Network is all about. It's about us coming together, and not only in the fellowship type of fashion, but in an educational and an empowerment type of fashion. And so what we do is we have meetings once a month. We usually have them at the Royal Esquire Club, which is the longest running Black social space in the state of Washington since 1948, right? 46, I mean, right? And so it's a great place and it's a great movement in what we're doing. And so at our meetings, we try to have an informational meeting where we basically bring the information to our community. So for an example of that is we've had the assessor come out, Mr. John Wilson, who is the King County assessor, to talk to our Black homeowners about ways that we can be informed about how our property is being taxed, right? Understand our assessment, and understand ways that we can come together to advocate and make sure that our property is recorded right. We've also had attorneys come out and talk to our community about how to put your house in a trust and a will, right, and avoid probate, right? Because, and I think it's an unpopular opinion that a lot of people don't want to talk about, but many of the houses that we've lost, we didn't lose to actual gentrification, where the carpetbagger comes up with the silk suit and tricks you out of the house. Most of our homes that we are losing now are lost because we do not have the tools and the instruments in place to pass them along, right? So oftentimes we hear about Big Mama passing away, and come to find out, Big Mama, didn't have a will. Yeah. Right now, the whole family's fighting over the house, right? Or come to find out, Uncle such and such had taken out a second mortgage on the house and nobody knew. Right? Or Big Mama had a reverse mortgage, right? And we all the kids thought that the house was paid off because when Daddy left years ago, the house was paid off. He worked at Boeing for 35 years and paid off the house, but nobody questioned Big Mama when she was going to the casino, right? Or that little new car she got. Where's she getting this money from? Reverse mortgage, right? And so what happens is whatever path that we get there, we arrive here and we're sitting there, Big Mama's passed away, and we are no longer in a position to keep that house. And that's how we are in fact losing our homes, right, at this point. Now, of course, many of our long-term central area residents and black people across the region, we know that we lost a tremendous amount of homes through the crack era, right? Where we had people that was just cracked out and they was, they selling Big Mama's house for whatever, right? And so those houses are gone. But the houses that we are losing now, most of these people call themselves educated folks, right? And in order to even have a house in the CD at this point, you most likely have some type of resources, right? And so the work that we're doing is to help protect those resources and then educate folks around that. And so oftentimes we have people, one of the things that I think we found out through the pandemic, right? The word resources, it has a lot of different connotations to a lot of different people. And some people who are homeowners and, maybe consider themselves somewhat affluent, when they hear that, hey, we've got some resources for you, they say, well, I don't need a food box, right? I'm doing okay. And that's okay too. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But at the same time, we all have something to learn. And so what we do at our meetings is we pass that knowledge along. And every time we have a meeting, there's somebody in the community that can answer a question before whoever the expert is there can answer it for us. So, we're coming together and making sure that people do have the tools, right? And then the other piece is we want to make sure that nobody in our community gets bopped for their property at this point. Right? And again, as I mentioned, nobody is going to come and give you the best value for your house. So, what we try to do is make sure that people know the true value of their home. And especially, with the comp plan coming out, the mayor's comprehensive plan, where they're going to have all of these different ways that you can improve your property. That's how we lost many of the homes that we lost in the CD. So there was the crack era, and then there was the era of us thinking we got a good deal when we really got bopped, right? Because we didn't know what was around the corner in terms of zoning, right? And so you have people where Big Mama bought the house for whatever, $35,000 back in 1959, $8,000, and now the house at the time, whatever, late 90s, early 2000s, the house was worth whatever, $400,000, $500,000. And the black family who thinks they know what they're doing, maybe they got an estimate, a zestimate, and they feeling like, oh yeah, this is a great deal. This is what the house is worth. I'm not getting taken advantage of. So they sell the house for what they think is the right amount, but they're not looking at the development value of the house. How many ADUs could you put on that property? Could you tear down that house and put up an apartment building? And that's what happened in the CD, is that you had some people who really thought they knew what they was doing. And they sold Big Mama's house at an amazing profit at the time. But now when they come back through the hood and they're riding through to go to Bubbling Brown Sugar or Ezell's or something, and they see that there's 5 townhomes on the lot where Big Mama's house was, and each one of those townhomes sold for $1 million, right? It's like, oh, wait a minute. And we sold the entire thing for $400,000. Right. Right. Yeah. It's just, and so the point is that we need to make sure that we have informed decisions, and we never know too much, right? And so, a story that I like to tell, one of our partners that we work with told me a story about a woman that he went to her house the other day to help her talk about putting an ADU in her backyard, and that's an additional dwelling unit, right? So, and she thought that she would only be able to put, one ADU because we don't oftentimes know the code. But once we looked at the zoning and the code for where that house was at and where it was at in relation to the zoning for that particular area, come to find out she could put a 16-unit apartment building on her property if she wanted to. So now, they told me that they're planning on putting a 10-unit building on the property and bringing all of their family home from all around South King County. So that's the kind of level. So no matter where folks are at along the timeline, if you will, or the spectrum, right, we have resources, right, and connections and education for everybody involved.
So this is huge. I mean, I'm telling you right now, I didn't have to ask no additional questions. You gave us everything. But ultimately, I want to say that this is something that I think, folks outside of Seattle also need, because now we have people who have bought homes in South King County, and they need this information. I just recently learned in Federal Way that there was no restriction in terms of tiny homes. Like if you have the space, you can have up to 30 of them before you start getting taxed in a different way. And so I think that my question is, how can people outside of Seattle tap into this? I mean, are these meetings open to, all homeowners? What does that look like for people to tap in?
Our website is open. We sent a sign off to Texas. Wow. We just put some signs out in Portland just this week, right? In Northeast.
Let's see the signs. Yeah. For those who haven't seen, those who don't know, these signs are pretty phenomenal right here.
Right. So this is the Black Legacy Homeowner sign. Oftentimes folks will see this whether you're riding around the Skyway, in the Central District, and this sign means a lot of different things to different people.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
And so what it means to me, right, is it means that I'm proud that I'm a Black Legacy homeowner, and I've had my home for over 20 years. Wow. Right. But it also says a lot to people for example, one of our good friends, Victoria Beach, she's the last Black homeowner on her block. And she really likes to let people know that I'm still here. I was here before all of y'all. Right. And so that's another point of pride. It also means what I like it to mean to real estate prospectors and flippers and the like, and people that are coming to try to take advantage of me, that I am least likely to sell my property for under the value that it's my complete value. Yeah. Right. And so by calling me, I know you got to do what you got to do. You want to call me, you want to come by, and that's your job. However, you might want to put people with this sign at the bottom of your list, because we are informed, we're engaged, and we're part of a network that's going to give us support. Right? Because again, these people come and they prey on us. And they don't just prey on just Black people, but we are the people most likely to be taken advantage of. True. Right? And so, there's folks out there that know that Big Mama just passed. And
they're following it.
Yeah, they're following it, and they're saying they're tracking it. They know that such and such, Papa's sick, right? He got diabetes, and they just waiting. And they waiting to try to get that short sale. They waiting to find that relative that just wants to get rid of the house. Always. Right? And that's why they keep calling, because they know if they keep calling, they might hit a lick, right? And we're the other side of that. So we're telling people with this sign, you're not getting this house, right?
Well, Cullen, this is amazing. And I just got to thank you for pouring into this effort and educating our homeowners. I also see here you have another little gift. I got excited, y'all, because when I saw the sign, I also saw this T-shirt. Now, you have something down there. Do y'all actually have those available on the website?
Well, so folks, we actually give these to our Black Legacy homeowners that are in the network, right? And most certainly, we'd like people to go to the website today and sign up. If in fact you are a Black homeowner, we most certainly will give you a T-shirt, right? And we'll give you your sign. And we really, like I said, we just want to empower folks to know that they're not alone, right? We lose so many homes to pride, foreclosure, right? And it's because they just don't talk to nobody. And so I guess what I would encourage people to do is check on their Black neighbor, Check on your black neighbor. You haven't seen Miss Johnson in a while, right? It's a reason why, and that's what happens, right? You know, we haven't seen Miss Johnson in a while, her car hasn't moved, and all of a sudden, 3 weeks later, it's a U-Haul with these white people from Oregon, and they moving in Miss Johnson's house. And come to find out, they bought it short sale because it was in foreclosure, and nobody checked on Miss Johnson, right? So that is where the work is at. That's why we want a fellowship. We want a door knock. I was just door knocking up in Skyway yesterday, and I met a guy named Harvey who's lived there for 30 years, raised his daughter there, you know, and just letting folks know that we are not alone. We have other black people that we can depend on. And the way that I tell it, I'm an expert DJ. I'm just a homeowner. What I do in this effort is I convene people, and I bring in the experts. I have no expertise in any of these things, but I bring in the experts to make sure that our community has the information it needs so we can keep our homes. And if in fact, so and just to be clear before I go, we're not vilifying any black people that want to sell their homes. We just want you to be able to get the highest and best value. We have black people that moved here years ago. They worked for Boeing for 40 years. Their kids has grown. Now they want to move back to Mississippi and they want to buy a big mansion in Mississippi and live happily ever after. That's okay. But what you're not going to do is sell your house that you paid for all these years working at Boeing or wherever to some guy that just had a sign, a handwritten sign that says, I buy homes. No, we want you to be with a licensed real estate agent, right? We want your property to be listed for the highest value. We want to make sure that you get the right appraisals, right? If in fact you are going to sell your property, but we're about stabilizing our homeowners. But if you do want to go, then that's okay too. But what we're not going to do is get taken advantage of any longer.
Thank you so much for the work. I'm definitely signing my mom up, who is a legacy black homeowner in Federal Way. We said plus 20 years. So I'm definitely signing her up. So I will go ahead and take all that today. Thank you again.
Does she wear a large?
Yeah, she does, or I do. Either way, it's fine. Thank you so much for the work and for educating our homeowners. Thank you for being here on the Day with Trae. Here we go. For my mother, y'all. For my mom. I got you, Mom. I got you. What a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. And again, folks can log on to blacklegacyhomeowners.org. We're also on all the socials on Twitter, or X, and Instagram and Facebook. And so we encourage folks. Our next meeting is next Sunday at the Royal Esquire Club, and they are free and open to the public. However, make sure if you are coming, this is a meeting for black people about black homeowner stabilization. Others are welcome, but we're talking about the lens of keeping black people in their homes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Y'all, this is such a much needed effort, and of course it is inspiring. I will wrap up all this inspiration on Black legacy homeownership right after this short break. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
What's up, Seattle, Rose City, Big Boise, Spokane, D-Town? I see you every weekend on Back to Besa. And of course, I'm bringing you stories from all over the PNW. You already know your girl's keeping it real everywhere I go. And of course, you can stream current episodes right now on the Fox Local app, available on your smart TV.
You on my mind a lot. Don't need no time, watch. I don't know how I got you in my pocket spot. Yeah, that's babe, need you every day. You seeing like the barging in. Got my heart, no barging in. From the to the floor to the couch. Might wake the neighbors up, but you didn't break you out. In the end, we're gonna make a child. If you didn't, we gon' hit the show. Part 2, we don't need no pause. We miss you, we gon' get tipsy. Need a power spot.
Copy my steal. Face the fact that. Copy my steal. Face the fact that.
Welcome back, everyone, to The Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. I mean, I'm telling you, Kun is a wealth of knowledge because he said, look, I may not be the expert, but we're bringing the experts in. Huge shout out to Chukundi Salisbury for his work on Black legacy homeowners. And honestly, for any of you out there who are curious, you need to know, you want to learn, what is an additional dwelling unit? How can I get involved? How can I, make sure that I'm getting some additional revenue in here? What does it look like for me to utilize all of these different resources to keep my home or to pass it down to my family? Please make sure y'all check out the website and their social media handles. Huge shout out to all the folks who are pouring into this effort. It's not easy to be door knocking and making sure people are under the understanding of this resource in Black homeowners right here for all of you Black homeowners. And, he said, look, people are reaching out from Texas. They're sending the signs all over. So this is something that is originating here, but it resonates all throughout the country. So I encourage y'all to not only tap in, but to be inspired. Because, he said, look, I'm a DJ, but I saw a need and I stepped into the need. This is the story that we love to tell here on The Day with Trae. Because no matter how you're inspired to do something that can support and uplift your community, it's always going to be something that makes it better than when you found it. So I want you to be inspired because you too can be a part of the solution, as Chukundi has shown you he is today. And for me, y'all, until tomorrow at 11 a.m., peace. Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.